Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, November the 17th, is National Homemade Bread Day, National Baklava Day, National Take a Hike Day, and National Adoption Day. Sunday, the 18th of November, National Princess Day, National Vaitiosis Day, I don't know what that is, and Mickey Mouse's birthday. So you got all that going on.
I love homemade bread.
Yeah, me too. Let's do the quote for Saturday. Thomas Edison said, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work." I like that. And Earl Nightingale has our Sunday quote, "All you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination." Love it. A couple of great quotes. And I got a great guest. Morris the cat turns 50 this year. And I don't know if Morris is going to do any talking. Probably not, because, cats just don't talk. They purr. They meow. But I'm going to be visiting with the young lady that is the caretaker for Morris. That's coming up. It's all on the way.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix, TIX.org.
Coming up, we got your brain on drugs, but first, a new survey found that marijuana stocks have soared since Attorney General Jeff Sessions resigned. So he was one that was saying, I don't want marijuana to become legal and all over the country. So now there are people that are thinking it's going to become legal nationwide. So marijuana stocks have gone through the roof. So there you go. We got a friend that is an investor in that kind of thing. And I said, how does that make you feel? And he's like, I don't know. I like it. I'm making money. It's like, oh, okay. I guess that's,
I don't have a problem with legalizing it all across the board. I really don't.
Again, it's one of those things where...
As long as there are roadside tests available for people under the influence.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not going to get into it here, but there's a whole line of thinking about that we'll just move on. We've got your brain on drugs coming up, though. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. Timeforrehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com. And this is your brain on drugs. A car stop did not end well for a Georgia dad. A 24-year-old Detavis Madison, Detavis. How would you say that? Detavis?
I don't know.
Anyway, he was pulled over for driving with an infant on his lap while he was cruising on the highway.
Oh, man.
He allegedly put a 3-month-old girl on the floor of the car when the police...
Oh, my gosh.
When the police pull up. And he said, no, I'm the only one in the vehicle. His attempt at hiding the child didn't fool.
Oh, my gosh.
They quickly
3
found
months.
her. Yeah, the news outlet reported that they discovered a stolen handgun beneath the baby after lifting her up. They also said they found some marijuana and a bunch of ecstasy pills in the shape of Lego characters.
Father of the year.
Yeah, the girl was given to her mother, and Mr. Madison, was hauled off to jail. He faces a slew of charges, including possession of a firearm and transporting a child in a passenger vehicle without a restraining system. So don't do that. It's a bad idea. It's the kind of thing you do when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, Real Housewife of New York, Bethany Frankel, brought him to a charity event called the Only Make-Believe Awards. So... what in the world are those?
So
she's a housewife, but she brought her new boyfriend.
Isn't it interesting to you that all of the celebrity news that we end up with is about a real housewife of somewhere?
It seems like that they're in the news a lot.
There aren't any other celebrities that are doing things?
Yes, like British actor Idris Elba, who you don't know. He's been named the sexiest man alive by People magazine.
Really?
Yeah. Last time we talked about him, you said you don't know who he was. And then
I don't know who he is.
Our son shook his head at you and said, you know who he is. So... apparently you do. You just don't know.
Apparently he's sexy.
Apparently. Who, our son or Idris Elba?
Idris Elba.
Okay. CBS has fired the producer of the comedy show Fam for using inappropriate language on the set. F-A-M, FAM. I've not heard of that.
Me either.
ABC has moved Alec Baldwin's Sunday night talk show to the less desirable Saturday night time slot as ratings continue to plummet. So there you go. A couple of
Shocker.
things for big screen, little screen for a weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now, your scoop of the day brought to you by FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO. I don't understand what I'm talking about when I say this story. I read this, then I read it again.
All right.
Makes no sense to me. A sport is taking off in Colorado called archery dodgeball. It's exactly what it sounds like, dodgeball, but you shoot each other with arrows.
No way, not real arrows.
Although I should point out that they're foam tips on the arrows, so people won't get hurt. It doesn't make any sense to me. Who would want to play that?
Well, it's no different than dodgeball if they're foam.
Yeah,
It's not going to hurt you unless it hits you in the eye.
I was going to say, unless you take one in the eye, and then it's all fun and games till somebody shoots you
They probably
in the eye
have
with a
protective
foam.
goggles.
Yeah, probably. Also in the news, a video has gone viral of a cat catching snow in France. The blizzard there trapped 2,000 cars on the road, caused 20,000 homes to lose power last week. And this video of this cat.
I was laughing
catching
so
snow.
hard at the cat video you showed me yesterday.
My goodness.
That was hilarious.
It was on Instagram. A friend of mine shared it. And this cat was a weird-looking cat.
Oh, my gosh. It was so
We
funny.
can't share it on this program because there's a lot of vulgarity in the video. But it was this guy, like a very thick New York accent, talking about this cat. And it's a creepy-looking cat. Then he said, kind of looks like grandma.
We could share it if
No.
we said
No,
disclaimer on the language.
I don't even know where it is now, and I'm not going to look for it. So it was just ridiculous. A study found that 60% of long-distance relationships work. Yeah. 60% of long-distance relationships work, Heidi. 40% don't work, they say. What percentage don't tell you when they're being truthful on a survey, I wonder? I don't know. I just don't know how that would work. Because I've seen people who are in a long-distance relationship where it didn't work so hot. So.
I have a feeling the ones who answered that are the ones who think their long-distance relationship is working.
Yeah,
and
mine's
the
working.
person who said that they're not is saying,
So I know what
well,
I'm
I'm
doing.
in a long-distance relationship, but
Could be. Mario Segal passed away last week. That's really sad, at age 84. Now, you might be going, who in the world is that? Well, he's the real-life inspiration by the Nintendo game company for Super Mario Brothers. He's the guy. That's who that character was modeled after. He died at the age of 84 in the state of Washington. I've got a link to the story if you want to see him. A new report found... No, I'm sorry. That's not what I was going to do. Down here. A internal survey found that nearly 1 in 3 Catholic priests have been accused of misconduct now since 2002. That is really sad. I think that's very sad. A Pennsylvania man was arrested for secretly filming women in the restroom on, you ready for this? 100 different occasions. Yes, 100 different occasions now he's been caught filming women secretly in restrooms. Shouldn't he just not have freedom anymore? I mean, seriously, what are they? Okay,
that's
we're going
pretty
to
nasty.
slap you on the wrist again. You go right ahead. You go ahead and get some more film equipment and go do it again. I think that's just terrible. A British fisherman was rescued after being trapped by an aggressive colony of seals and their young pups. That's crazy. Can you imagine that? It's like the fish are fighting back. I guess it wasn't the fish, it was the seals. But I guess they're competing with this fisherman, aren't they?
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, yeah, I want that food for me. I don't want you coming here and taking it all away. And then I think we're going to probably end on this note. Keith Richards recently sold his apartment in New York. How much do you suppose his New York City apartment sells for, Heidi?
$34 million.
No. $9 million.
Ah.
He had it
so
listed.
It was just a little apartment.
It was like a fixer-upper, I think.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Keith Richards had it listed for $12 million, but he only got $9 million. So there you go. I have no idea if that's a good deal or not. I don't know what to compare that to. That's not how we live, so I don't know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Are you trying to find the perfect gift for someone with a good sense of humor? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has a good selection of funny t-shirts and more. Some with Christmas themes. One that even replaces the ugly Christmas sweater for your next party. Find some silly shirts at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Also, learn how you can sell your own designs to make some extra Christmas cash. There's a link at the bottom of the page at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show, and we've got a special guest joining us right now, and I'll bet every single person listening has probably seen this person on television. And I shouldn't say person because it's not a person. It's a cat. Morris the Cat, and we're celebrating 50 years of Morris the Cat being the spokesperson for 9 Lives, and we've got Rose with us right now. Rose, how are you doing today?
Oh, we're doing just fine. We're excited to be here and celebrating his 50th adoptiversary.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, how long have you been involved in all of this, Rose?
Oh, I've been involved almost for 20 years. I've been his mom, room service, housekeeping. Thanks to 35 flavors of wet and 9 flavors of dry, I don't have to be his cook, just his server.
That's awesome. So that works out really nice, doesn't it?
Yes, for me it does.
So now, Morris that you have with you there right now, this is not the exact same Morris that was adopted 50 years ago, right?
If it was, we'd be celebrating a whole lot more.
Yeah.
But the Morris was adopted in the very beginning, 50 years ago, from a shelter in Hinsdale, Illinois. But since then, all the Morrises from past to present have been rescued by a shelter and then saved by 9 Lives Cat Food.
That is awesome. And how many Morris the Cats have there been in the last 50 years?
There's been 6 proteges in the past 50 years, and I think that's really good. That shows how much he's living a good life.
Absolutely. And now I gotta say, Morris always looks the same, doesn't he?
Yes, we do a nationwide search through hundreds of shelters trying to find a cat that has his relaxed disposition, his outgoing personality, and of course his stunning good looks.
Absolutely. Morris is a pretty darn good-looking cat.
He's a very handsome man.
In a day and age of Instagram and all of the things that, people are following these other cats, there's like a grumpy cat or angry cat or something. Does Morris get involved in the social media world at all?
Morris is very active on social media. You can follow him on Facebook, Instagram. His handle is at Morris the 9 Lives Cat. He's always visiting cat adoptions. Just recently, we were at CatCon where he helped 159 cats and kittens find homes when he co-sponsored the adoption village. That's pretty incredible.
That is very
cool.
cool.
There's still plenty more work for him to do.
Well, and I think it's really fun because Morris is really the original celebrity cat, isn't Morris?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
The brand 9 Lives, it's like synonymous with Morris the Cat. How important is Morris to that brand?
Well, the brand came out in 1959, but Morris started his very first commercial in 1968. So he's been representing the brand for 50 years. And being that he's adopted, he recognizes his humble beginning, and he's made it his mission to help other cats and kittens find the good life just like him.
That's really cool. Now, when they say that, they don't just say it, they mean it. There's quite a bit of resources that go into that, isn't there?
Yes, yes.
So if people would like to find out more about how they can maybe adopt a sheltered cat like Morris was, or if they'd like to get some more information on some of the things we've talked about, where do we go? I know you were saying that Morris is on a lot of the social medias. We'll throw links to that, too, but where can we go online to find all of this?
Oh, you can visit his full story at 9lives.com.
So at 9lives.com, they have the whole story of Morris the Cat?
They have the whole story of Morris the Cat, and if they're looking for a shelter to adopt a cat in, they can check out their local shelters. There's also like rescues, and sometimes on weekends, some places have adoption weekends.
That's really cool. What are some of the more bizarre requests? Because I'm assuming you get requests for Morris to do things. Have you had some really bizarre requests for Morris?
Well, Morris has been very busy over the past 50 years. He's written 3 books.
Nice.
He's been in a film. He visits and makes donations to adoption centers, and he did the Morris Million Cat Rescue. He was also at the museum for advertising ad campaigns where he was the only live cat. It was about advertising icons.
That is really cool. Now, I have to ask, what movie was Morris in?
It was Seamus with Burt Reynolds.
That is awesome. See, I did not know that. I learned a little something here today, Rose.
Well, we've learned something every day.
It's fun. And he's got the Morris's Million Cat Rescue organization to help save animals in need of forever homes. And I think that's really cool. So you have to tell Morris thank you and maybe scratch his belly for me.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
Absolutely. Rose, thank you so much for all that you do and all that you've done over the last 20 years to make sure that Morris is ready when he needs to step into the spotlight and be a star.
Thank you so much.
Again, Rose right there and Morris the cat. We didn't really hear from Morris, but I don't know how we would do that without, shaking the cat or something. That would be bad. So we just trust that Morris was sitting there with Rose. I'm sure he was. If you'd like to know more about how you can adopt a sheltered pet, we're going to throw some information in our show notes. Also, all of Morris's social media, we'll have that there as well. It's all in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are turtle tunnels in Japan to save them from being run over by trains. I love that idea.
How do the turtles know?
Well, if they just have it so it's easier for them to go through the tunnel than to climb up an embankment and go across, that's how they do it.
Okay.
Turtles are not necessarily saying,
Why
hey,
would a turtle need to get across the... I mean,
if they're going to go over there, and they're hey,
can a turtle just be happy where he's at?
No. Turtles want to go. They want to check things out, man. You just don't understand, Heidi.
I guess I don't. I don't
understand
the turtle life.
All right. Thanks for listening to today's Fun Fact.
FreshPatch.com is making dogs like me happy. They send out real grass pads for us to use indoors. Now when it's cold outside, I can go inside. And when I've used up the real grass patch, the mailman brings me a new Fresh Patch. It's the best idea since doggy treats. Convince your mommy to try it today. I suggest you try Puppy Dog Eyes. FreshPatch.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and I've heard this word before, and I bet you have too. I wonder if you'll recognize it. Scaramouche. The word Scaramouche. Where do you think you've heard that word before?
Have I heard the word?
Guarantee you have.
Okay.
Scaramouche.
What is it?
It is a boastful but cowardly person. Scaramouche, a stock character in the Italian Commedia dell'arte, the burlesque and Spanish don, and characterize boastfulness and cowardiceness. A cowardly buffoon, a ruffian, a scoundrel. Scaramouche. You've heard it.
I have, I think, in mobster movies.
No, in Bohemian Rhapsody. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche. That's it. That's where you heard it.
I thought most of that song was nonsense. I just thought they made that word up.
I have not seen the movie yet, and I shouldn't even admit that on the radio because I wanted to go like opening night, and I still haven't made it out. Every night that I wanted to go to that, we had something else we had to do, so I'm going to make it. Heidi won't come with me. I'll go by myself.
I'll go to it.
All right. Well, maybe tonight then. Thanks for listening to today's weird word. It is Scaramouche.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Time now for some weird news this weekend. A Florida man told the police his name was Ben Dover. Ben Dover, I get it. Well, that did not help. He was asked to leave a park when the park was closing, and then he was not being easy to work with. When they asked him for his name, he gave a fake name, which that is illegal. You can't do that. So anyway, he got himself in all kinds of trouble. The man tried to flee. Says the man fled on foot. I said he tried to flee on foot? That doesn't work. Anyway, he was apprehended after a short chase. His real name is Andrew Layton. He's 22. He was charged with 2 misdemeanors, obstruction by a disguised person, and a resisting an officer. He was released from the jail early in the morning and posted a $300 bond. So,
Buddy's got a heck of a story for his buddies.
Hey, now you're famous, dude. I mean, everybody should do that. No, you shouldn't. Just comply. That's a much better idea. And don't ever give a fake name. It's not going to help. They're going to find out who you are, and then you're just going to get in more trouble. So, bad idea. Thanks for listening.
And if you're going to try that, at least use just a name. Like, don't. You think
Bend
cops
over?
are stupid?
Yeah.
They're not stupid.
No. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh as I dig into the leftover bag here, Heidi. This is from Halloween. This is a little old now, but I wanted to read it because it is just such a crazy story. Also from Florida. So we've had a couple of Florida stories that these could have been our fake news or Florida story, and they're not. Florida police say a mother was arrested after her 6-year-old son was found trick-or-treating all by himself at 8:30 on Halloween evening. He was about a half mile away from home. He's 6, all by himself. They said the residents were calling because this kid was out trick-or-treating for several hours. He was dressed like an astronaut. He was dehydrated. He was asking people for water. He chugged a whole bottle of water. A woman who asked not to be identified says she met the boy while she took her children trick-or-treating. She said he was, in fact, alone, and he asked that we help him find his parents. He was definitely it was definitely concerning to me because it was dark. He was pretty far from home. The boy's mother, Jessica King, was arrested on charges of child neglect. She was released from jail after paying a bail. I cannot believe that.
You know, this is something that you
don't do that.
You don't realize how blessed you were growing up until you hear stories like this. I
not when you were 6.
Personally was very fortunate to have parents that did all of the, I was very, very well taken care of.
Absolutely. I think it's really sad. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. It's in today's Moment of Duh in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, you have to tell me, is this story something that really happened in the great state of Florida, or is it something made up just to trick you? What do you think? Florida, fake news, or what am I trying to say here? I'm going to scroll down to this one here.
You just told me the answer.
I'm doing it different now. A Bradenton, Florida judge was censured after he told a female clerk she needed to, quote, shack up with somebody. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Sorry, fake news.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I tricked you this time.
I could see that come.
Yeah.
I would tell somebody that.
What? No, you would not.
If they're being all uptight,
You need to
I could
shack up with somebody.
Yeah,
No.
I probably wouldn't say it like that, but I'd be
No.
like, you need to get laid.
Would you just... Heidi.
You would say that to
As
somebody.
a judge, you would never say that to a clerk.
This is why I would never be a judge.
Okay, yeah.
But somebody like me might squeak through the system and have a comment like that.
No, that would never happen. Just saying. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We appreciate you joining us.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That is the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. Here's a headline. Hiker was about to die in a snowstorm when she was saved by a total stranger that was just following her intuition. This is such an amazing story. 34-year-old hiker was in dire straits, but she was rescued thanks to the life-saving guardian angel, a stranger who couldn't stop worrying about her. Nancy Abel was out for a day hike in the mountains of Washington State in October when she first spotted a hiker in a red jacket heading north towards the Canadian border without snowshoes. Catherine Groen traveled from Munich, determined to hike this entire 2,650-mile Pacific Crest Trail. And after feeling like she'd lost her faith in humanity, she decided, I'm gonna go do this. It was the storyline from the movie Wild that Reese Witherspoon was in. So if you've ever seen that, it's where she said, I'm going to do this. And there's an actual person who did this, and it was based on the actual person who did it in her book. So anyway, she gets on there and does this, but there was a snowstorm that happened, and this stranger who they never really knew each other, but she said, boy, I hope that lady's okay. And she just got more and more and more concerned because this storm rolled in, and she couldn't shake the feeling that, man, this lady's probably in some sort of danger. So she actually, even though she had no clue who this woman was and didn't even know for sure if she was okay, they prepared for the worst, but they actually found her, and she was in dire straits. She had already prepared for the worst. She thought, I'm a goner. She thought she was done for. And then all of a sudden a rescue helicopter spotted her red
cool
jacket
is that?
based on the precise calculations that the other lady gave. So
wow. That's amazing.
She invited her to stay at her home. Now they've become, quote, wild friends. And she said, I didn't get to complete the trail, but I'll check it off my box. Faith in humanity has been restored. Really cool story.
That's a very cool story.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and
But
Heidi Show
that's also
this
why you
weekend.
don't go hiking in the wilderness in the
even,
winter.
I don't even park at the end of the parking lot. You never be
It's
too
too
careful.
dangerous.
You can never be too careful, Heidi. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.